What's up, everyone? Welcome back. Today is January 23rd of 2022. In this video, we're going to talk about a news story that broke yesterday, January 22nd, and how it connects to the two NFL games that were played yesterday. The first one between the Bengals and Titans in the AFC, and then the nightcap between the 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. The first thing I want to point out about this news story is that Ian Alexander was the son of Regina King. Now, this name, Regina King, is a very royal name. It's almost a bit redundant, actually. The first name, Regina, translates to the Queen in Latin, and, of course, her last name being King. So her name is essentially King and Queen. Now, Regina King got her first big acting break when she was only 14 years old, starring as the daughter on a TV series called 227, which started in the year 85 and ran until 1990. Now, this number is pretty important to this as well, and we'll get there in a minute. So, on this show, what I was going to point out is that Regina played the character Brenda, right? Notice how the name Brenda equals 26 in our standard reduction or Pythagorean method of Gematria, the cipher seen on the lower half of your screen. Every double-digit number reduced to a single digit. The word queen also sums to 26 in reduction, and it was 26 years old, the age that Ian died at, just 3 days after his birthday. Now, I didn't know this guy or anything, but I don't know what was going on in his life, but it's strange, right? An up-and-coming musician, seems like a good-looking dude, just gave a tearful, inspirational tribute to his mom last year for her birthday. Not at all fitting the profile of someone who's going to kill himself, but this is the reality that the mainstream media has created for us. A culture of death, suicide, depression. They hope certainly that the readers will feel the same, but that's what we're here to dispel. Now, what's so strange about the date of this story, January 22nd? January 22nd is the anniversary of the death of the home run king, Hank Aaron, who passed away on January 22nd of last year. Hank Aaron died in Atlanta, Georgia, where he played most of his baseball career. He died the same weekend as former Packers GM Ted Thompson, and Ted Thompson died in his hometown of Atlanta, Texas, just 2 days prior. Again, this is the man who drafted Aaron Rodgers, and no doubt Rodgers is sort of the regular season king of NFL football. And it seems like there's a connection there, regular season king to Regina King. I invite you to check out my video from last year where I decoded the NFC Championship game, which was blown by the Packers cornerback named Kevin King. He had an absolutely terrible game last year, blowing it to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. Furthermore, consider how that the Queen's son, next in line to the throne in England, is Charles. Charles happens to be the middle name of football player Kevin King for the Packers. Aaron Rodgers' middle name is also Charles. So more royal connections here between their names. Furthermore, yesterday saw the return of running back Derrick Henry to the Tennessee Titans after weeks and weeks of injury. And this is notable because Derrick Henry's name is King Henry, affectionately. So how strange is it that we get the death of the king's son, and then we get a loss from Derrick Henry and a loss by the regular season king, Aaron Rodgers. So the date was January 22nd, which of course in the United States is written 122. Both NFL games yesterday ended with a field goal as time expired. And in our Latin or Jewish Gematria cipher, remember the name Regina is queen in Latin. Notice how the phrase field goal equals 122. Now this was a very significant number for the events yesterday. Consider how Aaron Rodgers was born on December 2nd, the date written 12/2, a lot like the date 122. Rodgers grew up in the San Francisco area rooting for the 49ers. Notice how San Francisco sums to 122 in the standard alphabetic order. The city even sits on the 122nd meridian west. Furthermore, Rodgers' full name has matching gematria with 122. They both sum to 93. In last night's Green Bay 49ers game, there was a significant blocked punt towards the end by Jordan Jonathan Willis. Notice how his name also equals 93, just like Aaron Charles Rodgers. Jordan Willis was born on May 2nd, which is the 122nd day of the year. After the kick was blocked, it was picked up by a player named Talanoa Hufanga. And check out the gematria of Talanoa Hufanga. In the alphabetic order, it sums to 122. Also notice the 50, just like San Francisco. 76 in reverse. Also, San Francisco summing to 202 is significant because yesterday was the 22nd day of the year 22. Now, the last few years of Rodgers' career has been marinated in drama, and it's not just because of the CV-19 immunization thing. It all started when the Packers drafted a quarterback named Jordan Love. And this upset Rodgers because he wanted players around him, not a replacement. So it's strange that the man who blocked this punt was named Jordan Willis. If you measure from the birthday of Jordan Willis, who blocked the punt, to Hufanga, who recovered the punt, you get exactly 4 years and 9 months, which of course represents the number 49. The 49ers have not won a Super Bowl since they scored 49 points in the Super Bowl that ended the 94 season. And as I mentioned, Willis wears number 94 for the 49ers. This also connects to Regina King. Now, as I mentioned, Regina King was on the series 227 back in the 80s. The number 227 is a prime number. And check this out, it's the 49th prime number, divisible only by 1 and itself. So how perfect for a significant alignment with the 49ers on this date. So let's look at how there was more numerology stacked into this returned punt for a touchdown. Now, last night's game on the 22nd had what we call a life lesson number of 29. The number 29 is another prime number. That would be the 10th prime number. Notice how the word block sums to 29 in reverse reduction. Hufanga, who recovered this punt and returned it for a touchdown, wears number 29, okay? Last night, Green Bay lost with 10 points, and it was Aaron Rodgers' 10th career postseason loss. Measuring from last night's game to Hufanga's birthday was exactly 10 days. Now, what's so strange about this is that Hufanga has 2 different birthdays listed on his Wikipedia page, February 2nd, 99 and the 1st of 2000. Very odd, right? If you ask Google for his birthday, it'll give you the February 1st, so it looks like he was 10 days before his birthday. Now, that touchdown tied the game at 10-10. Now, if you multiply 10 times 10, you get 100. Last night's game fell exactly 100 days before the birthday of Jordan Willis, who blocked the punt. And consider the quarterback for the 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo, who wears number 10. And my favorite moment of last night's game is when they showed Garoppolo his number 10 right between the score 10-10. And Joe Buck is like, well, it's tense. Like, yeah, Joe, there were a lot of 10s on the screen. We saw it. Even adding 10 plus 10 is 20. And Hufanga was born in the year 2000, supposedly. He's even listed at 200 pounds. Back to the name King. This week's playoff games are taking place on the 22nd and 23rd of the month. The word king equals 22nd and 23. Last year, we had the death of Hank Aaron, the home run king, on the 22nd day. And then we had the death of the king of the airwaves, Larry King, on January 23rd. Now, last night's game between the Packers and 49ers ended with a total of 23 points. It was 13-10. And, of course, the word king, 23. So a game full of 10s, which equals 13, and 23. And think about the name of the kicker who put the ball through the uprights as time expired. His name was Robbie Gould. And Gould equals 23 and 22, just like King. But this is also pretty significant because think about the San Francisco 49ers and the color on their helmet being gold, right? A very gold team named after the gold rush in San Francisco. And then the Packers, this is the team of green and gold. Even though it's more like yellow, they're called the green and gold. And Robbie Gould ends the game. It's such a joke. It really is. Consider also that Hufanga was born on a date with primary numerology of 23 to go along with all of this. So with that out of the way, let's examine the numerology of the death of Regina King's son. Now, if you do a little search for Ian Alexander, you'll find out that his birthday was on January 19th of 1996. That means when he died, he was exactly 9,500 days old. Now, this number is very significant to his mother, Regina King, whose name sums to 95 in the standard alphabetic order. The show that Regina King was on was called 227, and the reason it's called 227 is because that was the apartment number that the lead couple lived in. And this brings us to the next part of the riddle. Notice how in reduction, apartment 227, when spelled out, sums to 95. And we're allowed to spell it 227 because 227 is the name of the book or story that this show was based on, 227. Apartment 227, 95. The lead actor of this show was Marla Gibbs, and if you measure from Marla Gibbs' birthday to yesterday, you get 33,095 days. We know how they love the number 33. As far as Ian Alexander being born on January 19th, that date can be written 119. And it's been alleged that he committed suicide, which is, of course, garbage. In reduction gematria, when you write out apartment 227, but instead replace the words with the number, Notice how you get this reduction value of 263. Now that stands out. Well, in reverse, you get a 362, right? The inverse of the number. But the reason this 263 really sticks out is because 227 equals 263 in reverse. And on the date he died, or news of his death broke anyway, he would have been 26 years and 3 days old. And in prime numbers, the last name Alexander equals 263. .263 is another prime number, the 56th prime number. And check out how the name Ian Alexander equals 506 in Latin Gematria. The show 227 even had its finale on May 6th, written 5-6. The name Ian Alexander sums to 216, like mathematics of the circle. 216 and 666. Now, when you multiply 6 times 6 times 6, you get 216. This is a very significant Gematria alignment here. And the reason it's so significant is because 227 is a number that is highly significant to the circle. Consider that there's 360 degrees in a circle. The number 360 has gematria of 227 in the alphabetic order. 22 divided by 7 sums to 314. Very important because on a calculator, 22 divided by 7 is the smallest equation you can use to give you the first 3 digits of pi, which is 3.14. Pi resolving the mathematics of the circle. A pretty significant number for the circle is 108. Consider how the sun is 108 Earths wide, and it's 108 times its diameter from the Earth. The same thing with the moon, 108 times its diameter from the Earth. Full moon, 108 and 108. Geometry, 108 and 108. Also, mathematics of the circle, 108. The name Ian Alexander sums to 108 in ordinal. When the show 227 first debuted, it was on the date leaving 108 days on the calendar. This also connects to the name of his mother, Regina. Regina sums to 108 in reverse. This show 227 was named after an apartment. Apartment equals 108. In the reverse order, apartment equals 135. The main character of the show 227, her name was Mary Jenkins. See how this is 1305? And when Ian Alexander was born, look how old Regina King was. Exactly 1,305 weeks old, which was the gematria of her mom in the show. On top of that, look at Ian's birthday. Primary numerology of 135. And of course, I made this post before the football games began, explaining how it was connected to Derrick Henry. And sure enough, the death of the king, foreshadowed by the death of the king's son in the news. So there you have it. Scripted nonsense. What does NFL stand for anyways? Is it really National Football League? Or is it numerically fixed lies? I mean, just think about it. Jimmy Garoppolo, never playing a cold game in his life, storms into Lambeau, and without even scoring a touchdown, they beat the Green Bay Packers, Super Bowl favorites. I mean, it's hilarious. It really is. And I guess it's not so funny considering how many people think these games are real and actually invest their emotions into it. I know there's going to be a lot of disappointed people in Wisconsin here today, and it's unfortunate that this has the ability to suck so much energy from people, but here we are another year, another disastrous disappointment for the Packers. Nothing new under the sun. And this is how sports end for 31 teams in the league every year. Pain, heartbreak, loss. Just how the people running these sports leagues love it. You know, keeping the public in a low vibration, keeping them masked up, fearful of deadly viruses. It all plays together. Thanks, everyone, for watching. We'll talk to you next time. Peace, love, and God bless. See ya.